Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel Smart Data Learners by DataScientist.ca. So today we will be working in a Tableau and we will create an executive summary dashboard. Let's first go to the dashboard. So this is the dashboard we have right now, and we are consuming SQL Server data. This data is all residing in the SQL Server. And in this dashboard, we have executive summary, total expenses, gross expenses, total insurance payment, total patient payment, total patient count, ethnicity count, and then we have total payments, current month, how much current month means the latest month in the database. So basically we use the max month. And the goal is basically that's comparison to the previous one, and then the change will be the current month versus previous month. So that's how these changes are coming here. Then we have insurance payments, how much insurance payments in the current month, how much were in the last month, and then the change. The same with the patient payment, current month, last month goal, and the previous and the change. And then there are CPT units, current, last, and the change. So these are total insurance payments, total patient payments, total patient count, ethnicity count. Then we have a CPT units by month. Then the gross expenses by month versus the insurance payments. Then we have the patient count by the month. And then we have a CPT units by the service provider. Like then we have Medicare, commercial, Medicaid, and other. So viewers, with that, that's our data source. These are the table we have right now. This is fact table, and then we have CPT code, DIM date, DIM diagnostic code, DIM hospital, DIM patient, DIM payer, and DIM transaction, and then bad debts and DIM. So viewers, we'll create a new dashboard, which we already have created, and we will show you how to connect to the database. So here we'll go to the database. We'll use SQL Server. We already have that here, and then we will sign in. So we signed in, and then we will select the database, which is we will be using US Healthcare, and that's how we have. Now we have to drag the tables which we will be using. So first of all, we will use a fact table because this is a star schema. And then CPT code. You see, with the CPT code, fact table has a DIM CPT code and the related field in the DIM CPT code in the DIM CPT code table, right? So that's how we have that now, and then we will use the DIM date. And we will select date service, and here we will select the date. Like we have a field here. Oh, that's what we have now. Basically, we are using the wrong date. This is dim service date clean, which we cleaned that. We'll provide another video. We'll create another video on the data formatting. But this on this video, we are basically our focus is how to interact with the SQL Server and Tableau. Right. So we have the date. Now the next is dim diagnostic code. And then dim diagnostic code lookup. Okay, it's working now. And now we will have the dim hospital. Uh, we have the dim hospital now, and then we will use dim patient. Okay. And And after the dim patient, we will use dim pair. And after the dim pair, we will have a dim physician. These are all dimensions. Because you know this, you know the mechanism. We'll show you the details of that. But, because all of these, their foreign keys are into the fact table, which has all the measures, right? So dim pair, and after dim pair, dim physician, and then the dim physician, we have a speciality of the physician, so we will connect the speciality field with the, okay, so that one is connected now. After that, the last field is transactions, dim transactions. And in the dim transactions, we have bad debts table, which are connected to the what transactions are bad debts. So once this data model is ready now, we'll save our bad debt will be connected to in the physician. Oh, basically bad debt is connected to the dim transactions. In the dim transactions, we have a transaction. Oh, these are connected to the adjustment reason. Okay, so now these are connected properly because these are there. There are some adjustment reasons, and there's these. Let's add the bad debts again. Okay. Okay, now viewers, we have this data set ready and we'll start working on the dashboard portions. So first we will create the total gross expenses. First of all, we will create a analyze, and in the analyze we'll create a calculated field, total ES expenses, and here we will simply sum gross expenses because we have that field here. And we will put this field into the text box and we'll hide this title, and in the text box we'll go and I will write down total gross expenses, right? We'll save that and we'll give it a name gross expenses. And in the second field we will create total insurance payments. We'll give it a name payments, and in this analyze we'll create a new field, calculated field, total payments, and then we will sum insurance payment, and then OK, and then we'll put it here. We hide this one, and then we'll go and in the text box we'll go there. We'll just this in total insurance payments, right? There we go. And one more thing we can do is we can format that, and in the format we'll go to the currency, and in the currency we will display in millions. Okay, the same with that. Okay, we'll save that, and then we will go for another total insurance and total patient payments. New field, total patient payments, and in this total patient payments we again create analyze, create a calculated field, total patient payments, sum E A patient payment. Then we'll OK, and we put it here. We hide this data, and we'll go there, and we'll use the underline total patient payments. Okay, now we have the total patient payments. We will format. We'll use currency, millions, and okay. Okay, one more thing we will need to do is in the total gross payments, we will use a filter of a year, and we'll use it 2020. Okay, let's see. The same here also will right now will as a simplicity we will use here filter also 2020, and then we have insurance total patient payment. We because we are using the data for 2020 right now, because we don't have any other year's data. The last year 2019 we have only few months, so this our focus will be in this dashboard will be only on 2020. So we'll again use the year, and then here also 2020. Okay. We have that, and then we will create patient count. Now we need another field, and in the patient count we'll create count distinct, we will use the count D. Patient count. And we will put the year as a filter. Let's count the dim patient. Okay, so this is a patient number. Basically, this is not a okay. Now it makes sense because patient number we want to count the distinct number of patients, and we will use this here patient zero count, and we can format that. Let's format, try to see how much we can. 4.38K. Okay, that makes sense. We'll save the data. And then the last we will use another one, ethnicity count. Analyze, create calculated field, ethnicity count. And in this, we will count Okay, now we have ethnicity count here, and we'll write that ethnicity count. Okay, but now we have the basic measures have we have. Now we'll need to create the comparisons. So we'll create another measure, current versus previous patient payment. Basically, this is, sorry, this one is ethnicity count, and we'll create patient. So here we will create three measures. First one is current patient. Analyze, create a calculated field, current month, Okay, viewers, let's check. Let me check that, and we'll see you in a next session. We'll see what issue is arising. I'll explain. Thank you. Hello, viewers. Welcome back. Let's begin here. Basically, we don't need. I looked at the specs, and we don't need the patient count. But in the current month, we'll need a current month patient payment, PMT. And here we'll edit our formula. Instead of patient number, we will summarize current month's patient payment. Okay, so current month patient payments are 13,900, and we will now use the last month's. Previous month patient pair, and we'll create, analyze previous month patient PMT. Okay, first let me explain why this we are using this. Just briefly explain this LOD measure. The measure here in that we created in Tableau. First of all, the we are using fix. We are using the fixed here because it ignores all dimension in the view. Compute this at the data source level, global level, right? So it will compute the total patients for the, and then we are putting a filter of some if month date is equal to month date add -1 comma maximum the latest date, right? And year date is equal to year date add minus, then patient payment, right? So we are basically using this to current month maximum date or maximum date then -1, right? And then we're using all the dates, year date and date add, and then the -1, right? So that's how we using. So we have these here. And now we will compute we have a current month patient payment. We'll put it here. And then we have the previous month patient payment. And then we will create a change. We'll create another measure. And here we'll calculate the change. Current versus previous patient EMT. Okay. So what we are doing here is we are using the current month, which is sum, and then max state. We'll basically, viewers, in this we will briefly go through these measures, but we'll create a dedicated video for these. But right now we'll just focus on brief focus on what we are trying to achieve. So here we are ignoring all the filters, and then sum if month date is equal to maximum of the latest month and year is equal to this, then patient payment, it's divided by the same but the previous month from the latest month, right? That's how we calculate that. So we have this change, we'll put it here, and then we will basically format that a little bit. We will format that and we'll go to the percentage. Okay, so we have that. And one more thing we will do is patient payments, CURRENT, current, that I already mentioned. The previous month is like a goal. How much we have last month is our goal for the current month, and the change. What was the change from the current month to the previous month? We'll do that. Yeah, now we have the current goal in this. We have created this KPI and we'll hide the title. And now we'll create another one. Insurance. Hide the title. We'll analyze. Basically, we'll first current month patient payment. We'll just copy that just to save our time. And then we'll create a new calculated field. And then we'll create a current month. Analyze. Create a calculated field. Previous month. Simply same logic, but here we will use insurance payment. Now, and the same for the change. Copy the same one because the logic is same, so there's no point of creating going it again. Well, here we'll use the here we in the two spaces we use insurance payment. So here we'll write down payment, current, goal, change. And that one we will format. And then current versus previous total payments, create a calculated field, current total payment, then we will add patient payment plus insurance payment. So this is what we have, and then we will use the previous month. Analyze, create a calculated field, and insurance plus okay. Now the next one is the change. Analyze, create patient plus we have to use the insurance payment. So total 65. Again, we'll format that. And now we'll go there, current, previous month and previous. This is okay. Well, the last one is we need to create CPT units. Then we will move to the dashboard creation. So let's create the next one, units. Again, we will use the current month, same logic, analyze, create calculated field, paste that, CPT units. Okay, so we'll have done that. Put it here, and then we'll use the previous month, analyze, no, previous month. Okay, so change. Viewers, these are same logic, but we are, that's why I'm just copy pasting the previous ones already created. Main goal is to show you how we can we can use the Tableau basically. Hmm? So we'll hide that and then we'll go there. Uh, Goal change. Okay, viewers, we have these things. Now we will create a dashboard to put these our measures over there. So let's begin. I think we most of the work has already been done, and now we'll create a dashboard, and we'll give it a name: executive summary. Summary, and let's layout. In the layout, in the dashboard, we will add a image. So we have already designed our dashboard background. We'll, in the coming videos, perhaps we will give you some overview how to design these backgrounds. So we have a background here, and now we will use our measures here. Okay, let's do that now. First, come first. Let's go. We'll use the basically we'll use the floating mechanism. And in the floating mechanism, we will use the sheets. So first of all, we will use the total payments. So for the design purposes, I always turned on the grids. So in the grid view, it's easy to place that. And now we'll Okay, so basically we will select that and we'll go there and worksheet will transparent. So now we have that here. Now the next one is we will use insurance payment. Payments. Okay, now we have a total payments. Let's do one more thing. Okay, now total payments are here, and basically we don't just writing the payments would be enough, and we'll make it a bit smaller. Let's go to the dashboard. Yeah, now makes sense. Payments, current, goal, and the previous. Now we'll add our field, the insurance payments. Format, no background. Okay, and that insurance payments. and then we'll use the patient payments. And we'll go current versus previous patient. Just format a little bit. I think that would look better. Let's see if it looks nice. The same with none. So we have payments, insurance payments, patient payments, and now the next one is CPT units. So we'll also save our dashboard, and now we'll put the CPT unit. And we'll go to the units, number 11, bold, and that's like that. Okay. Format, no color. So we have two of these, three or four of these KPIs are here. And now we need total gross expenses and all these on the top. We'll save that and quickly add these Myers total gross expenses. And I think for the consistency reason, let's do that also format. Yeah, now that looks much better. These are the insurance payments goals, current versus, here we have the current versus previous, and these are the totals. And then we will use the same for total, and then we will use the total insurance payments. And the same for this one also. Bold and 11. Let's go to the dashboard. Okay. Okay. Now we have that also. We'll save it. Now we'll now use the next one is total patient payments. And same thing here. Pooled 11. Total patient payments, total gross payments. And the patient counts. Now we'll need the patient count. How many patients total overall in 1 year? So we'll use the measure, use the total patient. And we will use the format, layout, no background. Okay, but now we have total patient payments, total that. And now one thing we can add here is ethnicity count. Let's see, we have space here for that. Yes, but I think we don't have the space for that. We will use in the next dashboard. Okay, so we have three of these here. Now we will create some graphs, CPT units by month. And here we will use fact table, and we'll use CPT units in rows, and in the column we will use from the date table, And here we will again we need to use a filter. Okay, and then we will use CPT units and colors. Okay, so that will be shading how they are, and hide the title. Now let's go to the dashboard and we'll put this field. We don't need the headers. CPT units by month. Now we will use another, we need to create gross versus insurance. We'll create another worksheet and we'll give it a name, gross expenses versus insurance payments. And we will use month period, and then month, and then gross expenses, and then insurance. In the fact table, we have insurance payments. And for that, we will use dual axis now. And from here, we will use a line and we will hide the header. Synchronize axis. We don't need to show headers. And then we will use a filter here. Viewers, this is a basic dashboard, but we'll try to make it as simple as possible. But in the coming videos, we will do some advanced features. So let's now we will go for the date and the year. We will put it here. Okay. Okay. And we will put this one into the executive dashboard. Okay. But basically, we also don't need that one. Hmm. Because we know that we don't need to show the header because we will put a heading over there. It's 2020 data. And now we'll need a CPT units Medicare. Medicare by, we'll create another chart. CPT units by provider, provider. And here we will use fact table. And in the fact table, we will use CPT units here in the rows, and in the columns, we will use and the same year filter. We don't need basically these. We need a provider. Okay. Sort by pair name, highest to lowest, and then we will put the CPT units. In the color, so the color will be higher. The higher the numbers, the darker the color. So we will put this, and we will make it a line chart. Let's see, and let's put it in our dashboard. Okay. CPT units by providers. So here we have Medicare and that's on. Let's make it a 12 number. Edit title. Okay. And now the last one is patient count by month. So here we can patient count by month. So we will have to create a month. Patient count, and then we will use month from the date. And we'll add a year filter here. Okay. And now we'll go to the dashboard. And now we won't want to show the grades. Okay, but so now the last thing we need a header. We need to add a header. So we'll add a text here. Executive summary. We'll give it a So Will, with that, we are done with this dashboard, and we can. There is a lot of room for formatting, but for this video, we will consider this to be finished here. Let's do one more thing. Edit title. Okay. We know there is a lot of room for uh, improvement here, but let's. Okay. Whereas this is the basic dashboard we created with the data from the SQL Server. We have data also in the CSV sheets. We will provide that, but in case if you want to do the with the SQL Server, we will also provide this database as well. So if there are any questions or any more information you need about this dashboard, please leave comments. And if you like it, please subscribe our channel. Basically, this dashboard is a very beginner level. It's kind of a beginner to medium advanced level, medium intermediate level dashboard we created for an executive summary for US health industry, where we can show them total expenses, total months for this 2020, and then we can show the current versus these are our goals and current KPIs comparing current versus the previous month and the change. And then we have the total CPTU by month, and then we have the CPTU by provider. Then we have the cross expenses versus the insurance payments. We did everything in this video, and with that we will conclude this to be this portion of the dashboard complete, and see you in the next videos. Thank you and have a very great day.